I think we are live for episode 87 of Trek Live. In this week's episode, we're talking about the latest episode of Discovery. How you doing this morning, Bill?
I am doing well. Are you sure we're live? I can't find the stream.
I am sure we're live.
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to talking about Star Trek Discovery's second season finale. I think there's definitely a lot to talk about. It wrapped up a lot of things. It certainly set us off in a direction for season 3 that is pretty open-ended. So we're going to have a whole lot of time to theorize about what it all means and what the future of the show is going to look like and what other things might be coming down the pike. So definitely looking forward to kind of cracking the episode open and see what everybody has to say about it. I'm hoping to get some activity in the chat to hear what I see Adam's in here. That's cool. How you doing, Adam? Want to hear what people have to say about it because there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, no. It should be a good time. I'm excited to talk about it as well. Before we jump into it, because I'm really excited to, have you watched any? How's your rewatch going?
It's on pause still. I got to a point where we were so close to the end of Discovery. I'm at a kind of mushy middle point between TOS and the TOS movies, and I kind of thought, let Discovery finish, like consume that, figure it out, like process it, and then once it's over, jump into the TOS movies and then into TNG. So my goal is to start that up this coming weekend probably. With motion picture and hopefully pretty quickly. I usually try to do the 6 movies in a weekend, like a couple each day. So hoping to knock those 6 movies out over the course of the next week and then get into TNG. But what about you?
For me, I don't know if I watched any this week. I know the last one I watched was Masks.
Oh man. Masks is legendary.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like it could potentially move into like guilty pleasure, but it was definitely, I don't know. I was kind of struggling to start it and to kind of get through it, but by the end it was I guess okay for me.
It's totally a guilty pleasure. I mean, I'm not a fan per se. Like I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
But it's, if you're in the right mood for it and you just want to watch complete craziness, is there a more just insane episode of Star Trek than Masks? I don't think there is.
I don't think so.
It's Adam says Brent Spiner goes hard in Masks. He does. He goes for it. I don't know how he did it because it is so ridiculously over the top. But he.
I think that's MVP of the episode for me because he just like has to play so many different personalities and different voices, and it's. That's awesome.
He's definitely I mean, without him being so like committed to it and just like completely going for it, I don't know if the episode could survive at all. I think what makes it like weirdly watchable is just watching Brent Spiner go to town and be insane. So it's definitely a time. Masks is a highlight if you like just off the wall weird, inexplicable science fiction. I don't think there's a better example of it in Trek.
But I am winding down on TNG, so let me go. Let me know what I should kind of move on to next. As far as rewatch goes, if I'm going to go TOS, I'm going to go Deep Space Nine. I don't know. We'll see.
What are you leaning towards?
TOS.
Like you're leaning towards TOS.
Yeah.
Nice. TOS is good because you can do it fairly quickly. Like if you're committed to it, you just try to bang it out. It's 3 seasons. So, can't go wrong. TOS and DS9. It's a bit 2 very awesome things. So you'll be good either way. Cool.
Do you want to jump into the episode?
Yeah, let's do it. Now's as good a time as any, and there's plenty to talk about. So, probably a good thing that we just dive right in. What were your overall impressions?
Overall impressions, I think it was a really solid
Mm-hmm.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
Before we should kind of get into like the nitty gritty details, heavy spoilers for sure. Got to put that out
Yeah,
there. Obviously, if you haven't watched it, go watch it right now, and then come
mm-hmm.
back. Um,
Definitely.
no, I thought it was a good ending to the season. I had to kind of remind myself that hey, this is a two-parter. This goes together with last week's episode, so it was really heavy action episode, but I think like paired together with last week's episode, I think it's really strong. So overall, first impressions, very strong season finale.
Yeah, I would echo that. From a visual standpoint, especially, I think it was uh, pretty awesome. There was a
Yeah.
lot of really cool visual stuff happening. The battle sequence is certainly notable, as maybe the biggest thing we've ever gotten in Star Trek of that type. Just in terms of
Mm-hmm.
like the ambitiousness
Yeah.
of the visuals. It's I struggle to even. I don't think any of the movies have matched maybe some of the scale of that battle. So kind of was like, oh man, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But from a
Yeah, trying to get back on. Having a little bit of internet issues, but yeah, I think you're totally right. I think there's a lot of good payoffs for character moments as well as some really cool action sequences that didn't seem, you know, too like actiony, like insert action scene
yeah.
here, which kind of felt good to see
Well, I
that.
feel like I feel like this episode in particular, because like I said, it's two-parter. And if you view it within the lens of this is the second half of a two-part story, I think what makes it not feel like insert action sequence here is that in the first part and even the whole season leading up to now has been, it feels like it's been naturally leading to this point. It doesn't feel like an arbitrary okay, we gotta juice things up with an action sequence here this week. I think because it feels like a natural extension of the way the story's been going all season, and certainly last week was a big kind of build up to this with a lot of that character stuff and just setting the pieces into place. It never felt that way to me. And as you know, just talking about this season, there have been a few times this season that maybe I have felt that way. Going back to even like Brother, like a few times I felt like maybe insert action sequence here maybe applied, but I didn't feel that here. So it's funny you mentioned that. It's something because it didn't occur to me this week when it sometimes does.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. The first thing that kind of comes to mind for me from a specific, because there's so much to cover. There's a lot. The Spock Burnham. What the season has clearly been sort of building to all along was exploring this relationship between the two of them. Why we haven't heard of Michael Burnham in the past through Spock. That's certainly been an open question that people have been hoping for an answer for.
Right.
And we certainly got it here. And in addition to that, we got this idea that Spock feels like he needs this like emotional center that ultimately becomes Kirk now that Michael isn't in the picture and available to him. I've seen people criticize the show for like I just saw it this morning. Somebody was saying that Spock and Burnham have been apart for a long time now, so why does he feel like he needs it now? Well, he felt like he needed it as a kid, and my reading on that whole dynamic is that he needed it so desperately as a kid and had it taken away from him, and he's been kind of struggling along and not truly finding himself up until even like now in the season. Now that he's kind of gotten in, he's more centered than he has been, and to maintain that, he's going to need to find a person that fills that void, somebody that he can trust emotionally and be, to have that kind of relationship with. This episode kind of leads to that point where Burnham's telling him you're going to have to do that. Did that all work for you? Like, did the whole Spock Burnham